Hey, look, we're live. And by live, I mean recording. Haha, welcome. Greetings. The powers of recording is here. And my cat has decided to walk on my keyboard. Okay. Hi, kitty. Anyways, I just woke up. I hope everyone's doing good. Hope everyone's enjoying the break. It do be true. Yeah, she demanded pets. Um, let's see here. Let's just go from the list top
Okay,
down.
first things first. Checking with ND on the find familiar customization, all good on releasing that, or do you want to gather more feedback / peer review?
Haven't been able to send, or I haven't sent it out to the general public yet. I was hoping NERP would have a chance to like glaze over it, but I think if you don't have time, NERP, I'm happy to send it out to the general public. The only questionable thing I really feel like is in there is the ability for basic familiars to attack. So if you don't like that concept, I can remove it.
No worries, take your time on that. Ping him if you'd like, but feel free to get public feedback at the same time.
Yeah, feel free to get public feedback, as Legacy is saying. I am done with the class that decided that three of my classmates were going to screw us over. Um, so
Okay.
I can look at it now. Probably will be doing able to do so on like Wednesday when I'm at work. But yeah, no, feel free to post it for the community to look at too.
And I'll send it out to them, and then obviously we won't do any implementation until you've had a chance to
Yeah,
look.
yeah.
Alright,
Sounds
sounds good.
good. Ah, all right. FX applying to DTD's 1 day requirement? Question mark.
Yeah, that's me really wanting to see. I don't like the limit that it's an hour. I would rather the limit be that it's an entire day for abilities
Okay,
that are used on
second
downtime
one will
days.
need some general discussion. So the proposal is setting downtimes to require a 1 day duration on effects to apply to them. Currently we don't have a specified limit except the 1 hour one, I believe, on WA.
Yep. I believe the limit today is an hour. So I'm really hoping to see that become a day, mostly because it's a little bit annoying to see like 800 billion abilities be used in downtime, having to go track them down and then apply them. But also there's kind of the logistics of it, like things that last an hour don't last the week or the entire days that a lot of these downtimes are required. So I don't think they make a ton of sense to be used. And then you get into weirder places with spell slot usage and then how we want to start tracking spell slots. And then like if they're using an hour spell, are they using it 8 or 10 times a day or whatever our work hour is? And then do they need to rest between spell slots? And I just deep down, I want to avoid a lot of that until we have more automation. So I think I would really like to see it be at least a day, but that's just me.
Mm-hmm. What are other people's thoughts on it? I am curious.
But yeah, and when I do say like a day, I do mean any ability that is specifically marked as downtime use should still be used for downtime. I'm not trying to cut those off, such as concentrated work in Destiny.
Giving people who are typing some time to type it up before I give my thoughts. Well, that was already the plan. Um, we like already started working on a system for that. A couple of weeks back, I was trying to find the document we were working on for the like giant list of abilities. It went over which ones would work, which ones wouldn't. Um, it's not on the shared drive, so it was someone's personal file, which makes me very sad. As a reminder, please use the shared drive so we don't lose things like this. Um, but yes, I know it was posted in this channel. The link for it. It's just somewhere here, and it's hard to find. Um, so I think overall, if you want to limit it further for the sake of staff, due to the um, difficulties and lack of automation, until we have automation, I think that's fine. We can just make the list a little bit more limited than intended. Um, and once we have automation set up, we can expand that to the standard 1 hour limit that we have. Um, let's see here. As for Sky's suggestion, the form could easily be updated just to have like a little question box. Are you using any of these abilities? Check mark. Ba 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 ba. Oh yeah, no, that's not a hard thing to do for the form. And then we wouldn't have to look to see what's being modified. It'll just have a little checkbox. Tis true. Yeah, we have to go ahead for 1 day hard limit. Um, if someone wants to go through and gather everything that would be a 1 day duration, as well as the very obviously downtime abilities, that'd be most appreciated. Otherwise, you can probably do it Wednesday. Um, and if you're going to make a list, you put it on the shared drive. It makes it so much easier. And by obviously um, downtime based abilities, it will say in the feature. Um, so like concentrated work as an example specifies downtime. Um, I believe Destiny does not specify downtime in its description, but it is a downtime viability, which is um, important to note. Yeah, exhaustive should also be downtime essentially. Oh, Smith is also not in chat, you know. All right. What's next on that there docket? Copy pasta this into a notepad so I don't have to keep scrolling up. Whoop.
Okay, the next one was also me. So when we did the separation of civilians and citizen class, I think we talked about letting them do a rebuild, but we never announced anything of that sort, and it sounds like some people are interested in doing rebuilds. I'm just trying to figure out if we want to allow that before the T2, or if we just want to drop it completely at this point.
Let's see here. Um, I would say allow it before the tier two. Yeah,
Okay. All right.
yeah. That gives people enough time to have the free rebuild. Um, and by the time tier two starts, at this point, everyone's already aware that you can take adventuring level classes even as a civilian, so it should be fine.
Sounds good.
It's a free rebuild, so they can just post saying I want to transfer my citizen levels to a XYZ class. They'll just post in character update. Yeah, which does coincide with the changes that they're in. So no, classes statistics are integral to the class you choose. So if they want to change their statistics, their strength, dex, con, etc., those should be allowed to be changed too. The only thing they cannot change would be backstory, which coincides with birth, profession, and origin. Stats will limit multiclassing, yes. He's on call. Oop. Mm-hmm. Indeed. I believe the next thing on the dock is rename inventory lock to sheet lock. Um, I think we just add sheet lock. So we have both. I would make it clear that sheet inventory lock is just the inventory, though, in the description that we have for it. I believe the description is basically sheet lock. While we need to make sure. Yeah, it's nice to have both. Having more options is good.
Yeah, that's good. I think just a lot of people were thinking inventory lock also means sheet lock.
Mm-hmm.
And that's where a lot of confusion oriented around that.
Yeah. Yeah, so we just update that to be both. We update the wording for the old inventory locks, or just make new wording and just transfer old to sheet. And yeah, it
Check
is
this
true.
list real quick.
Um, the first bullet point is weird. I would not say they are limited to one class. You're suggesting there. Perhaps the wording is just funky, but um, if they want to do like, hey, I'm taking two of my citizen levels and putting them in ranger, and then three of my citizen levels into rogue, yeah, feel free. As long as they meet the multi-class requirements, they're good to go.
Might want to put there in the disclaimer that once you take an adventuring class, you lose the 50% DDT XP.
Good
Just
point.
to just to reinforce that before someone goes, "Well, I wanted this." Well, no, no, that's not what you get.
It's true. I would add that disclaimer, even though it's listed on the class,
It, it
but
is,
it
but
is redundancy. So
That's meant to be the first shift since you mentioned multi-classes needing requirements, but their initial change can ignore that. Also, can they change their level 1 feat?
level 1 feat. Hmm, I don't know. What do you think, Sky? You handle a lot of the rebuilds. So I can see it being tied to the character, to the stats, but it's also easily enough retrained. So, fair enough. Yeah, I would go with that then. Good point there, Zion. I also know a lot of people tend to take it for like master craftsmen, so they can start off early. But yeah, so yeah, full rebuild. Sans backstory and things tied to his backstory
To be
being
clear, the first point isn't saying the rebuild can't have multi-class, I was just splitting it up per specification that multi-class has to have the stat requirements, but we can kinda just merge the two into a single line.
gotcha. Yeah, yeah, no, full rebuild. That includes
Wait.
everything.
Does this rebuild include changing Civ subclasses, or do we want to keep that part static?
Yeah, they can change. I mean, they're changing the entire class. So if they're keeping the citizen sub class in any way, and they still have that limitation to from the class, then yeah, obviously they're going to still be limited. But if they get rid of all their citizen levels, then no, they don't need to be limited to it. Basically, if they have a class feature limiting them and what they can go forward, consider it a multi-class requirement. Otherwise, now they're
Oh, I
good.
think I know how to word this, hang on.
Yeah, what Jokey just posted. That is basically the limitations right there. I'm just gonna. This is an easy clap, so I'm just gonna copy this while you're typing your thing. Did they retire? Or did they die?
They're still alive.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, so they just retired.
Yeah.
Gotcha. I haven't checked graveyard in a while, so 'Tis true. Yeah, no, if it's tied to a skill that has multiple options, it can use either of the options. As for this, the Exuma project checked. I have no progress on my end. It's a minor focus for me right now. I know Sky was doing some work on it a while back. It's a large undertaking considering how many races we have and classes and whatnot.
I did
Um,
start going through it for races. I'm gonna start working on that if nobody has any objections, and then I'll probably post it into balance before asking to have the WA updated.
yeah, it'd be much appreciated. I know there's already a list in our Google Drive of some
Sky has a
suggestions.
document which I believe she linked to you, right?
Yeah.
Sky's version was for classes, not races, so I
Hmm.
started my own for races in the same folder and tied it to that chain.
Yeah.
So you're good there. And now also while I'm going through it, if I see anything for downtime days that I think will be relevant, I'll try to mark those as well.
Oh awesome, by all means, I don't think anyone was handling that.
But I am only looking at races, so.
Hmm. No problem. It is appreciated. I would add for the second sub, or I guess the first sub bullet point, so the one directly beneath the first, as in the first adventuring class apply does not use multi-class requirements. Um, so long as you do not still possess citizen levels. Because citizen, the class still has multi-class requirements, so if you have that class, it's your first, like your level 1 class still, it's an issue. I mean, if you have it in any levels, then it's still an issue for multi-class purposes. Because without that addendum, it will imply that they can ignore the citizens' multi-class requirements, which they can't.
Oh okay, I understand what you mean. Basically you meant no worries about stats if they give up all their levels but otherwise normal multi-class.
Yes. I mean, if it saves us from being asked questions, I think it's fine.
Just like the decrease in downtimes days, having it there as just saying, "Hey, this is how this works," means we don't have to answer questions.
Mm-hmm.
You just copy the link and post it and go here.
Yep, I would definitely add what Andy just reiterated. Um, I'm not sure what this means, but it's on the docket.
They're stepping down,
Yeah,
adding someone new.
gotcha.
Okay, so what I mean by that precisely is I wanted to ask Sky. So Sky, did you specifically want to step down overall and go more into just part-time DMing, or did you want to step away from the stuff that's not really lore related that lore keepers have been taking on gradually?
That's a good question. Do you want a full step away, or do you want me to provide a new tag for just the lore side of things and rather the more automation stuff. Because you are still 100% the most lore savvy person here, so if you still want the tag, you have it.
I don't mind Lorekeeper being kept on Sky because she sure as hell counts as it. I think we really needed to split that apart anyway. A couple months back was talking to you about it.
Mm-hmm. I think we just keep Lorekeeper, um, the role still being the one that people ping and whatnot, and just change Sky to be like Lore Master. Like the Master of the Lore versus the Keeper of Lore, making sure people are in track of keeping in with the lore of the universe. So we just have to rename or reword what Lore Keeper says in our role list, and then add Lore Master in our lore list. That way we don't have to go through everything that says ping Lore Keeper for this.
Yeah, that might be good to keep people from getting confused, but basically just wanted to check here what Sky was thinking.
Yeah. What are your thoughts, Sky? Hmm. Nope, you're dead. They're back.
Testing.
Hello, I can hear you.
So for splitting it from lore keepers also being the character trackers, then sure, I am fine staying in lore stuff. It's just more of the character tracking side. I feel like there could be more organization that I'm not putting in enough effort towards, that I feel like someone who's better at organization might be able to do something good with it.
Gotcha. All right. Yeah, no problem. I can easily just slap you with Lore Master instead. Um, would you be wanting to do other stuff too, or do you want me to remove those tags as well?
Like, I'm still absolutely fine checking out sheets. I think I probably know the mechanics of Syrik the best, so
Mm-hmm.
I'm able to check sheets pretty quickly.
Yeah.
Yet I presume whatever we do the role you'll have will be less demanding and just when you peek in and want to help with answering lore questions.
Oh, you have part-time DM. That one's fine.
Or
It's just
sheet
whenever you work.
handling, just
Oh.
not needing to focus on it.
Yeah, basically.
All right. No problem. Then yeah, I'll make you a spicy Lore Master roll, and you got it.
Ooh, fancy.
Mm-hmm.
Perfect, thanks for clarifying. I'll figure that out with NERP.
Yeah. Uh, Regardless, though, the Lore Keeper work has been most appreciated. Mm-hmm. Definitely appreciated. Did not really expect that to turn into the heavy uh, workload it ended up being, but very much appreciated.
Do need to figure out how to automate mail a bit better though, because I'd be
Mm-hmm.
bad on that.
Yeah.
So what's next on the docket?
Tool secondary stats release.
I'm gonna temporarily pin this.
Yeah, no, if those aren't posted to our patch notes update, then yeah, put those on patch notes update. They can be released. They're already confirmed in the guide, so once the guide's updated, it'll definitely be confirmed. But um, Yeah, those should be released. Yeah, I would also consider all of our region heads lore masters for their particular region.
Okay, so secondary stats. Does anyone have any objections or concerns about that, or are we okay with greenlighting it?
Yeah, it's fine just being a third stat option. Let's see here. Let's see. Toolkits. Forgery kit. Where are you?
Just making sure Neb's good to go on that, then it's all greenlit.
That explains things. Yeah, 4G can be intelligence or dex. That's fine. I'm updating it now in the guide.
Oh geez, did we do coerce downtime activity discussion to include strength?
Yes, yeah, no, that's already covered. All right, that's now in the guide, updated. Doop, doop, boop, boop, boop. There we go.
What was the conclusion on that? Just good to go in ladders, figuring out the wording on that.
Yep, pretty much that.
Awesome, thanks.
Right. I believe the next thing on the docket is
Neb,
reagent
you alive?
harvesting.
They aren't in the call.
Oh wait, Neb isn't in chat, oops. We can move on anyway, it's all in text for him to check later. There he is.
Alright. Now, for reagent harvesting, revert to equipment guide rather than current static.
Okay, next one is also from Neb. Reagent harvesting, revert to equipment guide instead of current static results. I'm not overly familiar with the difference, gonna ask him in chat.
Basically, it makes it so the lower rarity ones are easier to harvest, while the higher ones, I think, are about the same, actually. I'm pretty sure it made it the highest DC was the DC for harvesting. So this makes it a bit easier for like the lower end stuff. Because I grabbed the an easy to grab DC and just slapped it on each one of that particular material rating. But if people want to go back to the equipment guide, then we can certainly do that. It won't be um this week for the update though. I'm still in the midst of updating the materials with their primary secondary updates, so it's it's a bit of
Hang
a
on, I'm
thing.
asking Neb for some clarification on what the issue was with that. There's the context ner. I
Yeah,
presume it's something to do with changes to how harvesting currently works versus in the equipment guide?
yeah, I figured that was the change. As I stated, it's fine to change. It's not going to happen this week. I still have to do some updates, final tweaks.
Gotcha, so it's already planned to change to the equipment guide stuff, but just not right now?
Yeah. All right. I'm not sure what this one on the docket means.
Hang on, summarizing last one.
I think the priority system one was the jokey one, where we have priority for games in like 2 different places with 2 different rule sets.
Mm,
I think it's just about determining which one is the true one and getting rid of the one that is not true.
yeah, that's fair. That's an easy clap update then.
Okay, so hang on, let me grab the summaries of the two differences.
All right. While they are grabbing the differences for the priority system, can't think of the word for it. The multiple priority system listings and the different wordings there. Workshop. What are you needing for workshops? Oh, batches. Okay. Where did I put batch stuff for workshops? I think it's in my crafting guide, maybe? Maybe? Seems likely. That's way too many. Oh, I closed crafting guide. Now can I go bring up crafting guide again? Whoop! Crafting, crafting, crafting. Where are you? Let's see. Here we go. Are you in the crafting book, or am I a banana? Find out next time on It's I'm a Banana. Wait, no, I'm not. I'm good. Okay. I'm not a banana. Everything's fine.
Okay, so, checking the texts, I see the issue. Basically, the original one from June 2023 was before we did the post-adventure thing and had a strict time requirement instead of just 1 week required between games. The new one was based on the tagging system, which technically is supposed to be similar rules but more loose.
And what's the other one read as? Or is that just
They're
kind of
both in that one post where the dotted lines are the two different ones.
gotcha? Yeah, I would just change the first one's location to be the same as the second one. So keep both as the second wording, at least until I can finalize the scheduling updates I've been working on. I mean, it doesn't hurt to have it in multiple places. Not like we have a word limit in our channels. Anyways, whoop, whoop. Here is the workshop quality benefit that is basically what you would need to get batch crafting on workshops. You may notice that there is 6 tiers instead of 3. Structure benefits work a bit differently in that they are 1 benefit point per quality tier, no limitation. So if you have 3 benefit points, you can go all the way up to tier 3. And there's other ones that like reduce the amount of time it takes to make things, which they reduce like amount of materials it requires to make things and things like that. But that's the one that specifically deals with batch crafting because you're making multiple items. They can get pretty expensive. Yeah. Let's roll on up, see if I can't find that wording. It might be in the structure guide. I'm still like putting these two guys together, so it's. So I believe currently, um, yeah, currently they're listed as 10 times the value as the base quality tier. So fine, for example, listed as 25 GP worth of mundane artifice reagents, or 1 fine quality oil. For structures, you need 10 of them, or 250 GP worth of mundane artifice reagents. Basically, just times it by 10. Whatever that listing says, you just 10. Yeah, it's a flat cost. All right. Yeah, show must go on. Rule still is a thing. Should still be noted. And that's it. There's no other options. I wish the bot had a third option, or like a third viable option. So you had like available, tentative, on adventure, or like post adventure, and then we can add options.
Okay, there is my conclusion on the priority rule
Motherfucker.
clarification. TLDR, they're basically the same. The newer one just specifies the roles we use now, and Joki is okay though his slot in the second game became lower prio once he was registered on both.
Okay, so I think that's what I paid for premium for. Then it's just you have to do it manually instead of by default. I'll look to see if you can do it by default. If you can, then fucking excellent. And I won't have to continue working on this scheduling update. Yeah, it's true. Yeah. If anyone else just instantly think this guy who does skits who goes like yeah. And anyways, I'm sidetracking. We'll look into it. See if we can't get that set up, because if we can have the bot just by default have the on adventure tag listed as an option, it'll make it so much easier for us. Yeah, I've been looking into like kind of revitalizing the old scheduling system we had, but making it less cumbersome, because it required a lot of back end work to function properly. So, but it allowed a better priority system that was more even handed, we'll say. That's we'll look into it. It's a long term project. If we do need a switch. Next thing on the docket is Systems of Vampire stuff. How's that going?
Do you have time to stick around for a bit, because I might move yours to the end to avoid breaking up the recording, since it's spoiler stuff, I assume, and lore related.
I mean, we've talked about it in the past already, so I don't think it's gonna be spoilery.
Yeah. Anyway, so yeah, like I said, it was unlocked on mission. I don't know how we're doing like class unlocks and how they're being introduced to the world, or how much balancing needs to go still through. So yeah, I'm mostly just wondering if it's ready as far as I know.
Gotcha.
Just need to
post it to me in Firehouse. I'll slap it on and start implementing it to World Anvil. If there's things that I think needs to be updated, I've looked over it already. It's been a while since you did your updates. If there's anything that I think needs to be adjusted, I'll post in balanced chat and at you as well, just so you're aware. And then once it's confirmed, we can post a patch notes for it. And I will also be posting it live on World Anvil, but make it clear in the World Anvil updates, not live until patch notes come out.
Yeah. And I also did go through and I've applied the SU, EX, and MA to all the class abilities too. So.
Nice. Yes, anyone who unlocked the class are given a free rebuild into it, if that is what you want to allow, which I would suggest is the case. But if they unlocked it but didn't actually deserve it, then it's up to you, because it is a weird thing.
Yeah, they're fine. The only weird lore thing is that technically they're unlocking all these different sub races, and technically they only have access to one. But my argument is that they have access to the other ones through this one NPC.
That's fair. Yeah, it's already been reviewed. I want to make sure when I'm adding it, there's nothing like weird wording or things that might play weird.
Yeah.
So it's just basically a final review, like a post review.
Yeah, there might need to be some adjustments and changes still, but
yeah.
Not a big deal.
So once it's on World Anvil, Basically, we'll give it another week for it to be looked
Look, I
over.
remember we had it looked over a while back.
Yeah.
It's the template class, right? Have we had any other template classes available yet, or will this be the first one?
I believe this is the first. Yeah. Vampire definitely needs a devotion ability because their race is being changed to vampire.
I will add that.
So unlike Ashen, where it's more of like a flavor thing, which is still a thing of note where they will be changed, you are literally getting a new template. Yeah, so you have to have the race to be the vampire. I don't think so. Yeah, no, vampire's not alignment restricted in Syrik.
Yeah, there is no alignment
This will be a
restriction on it.
slightly more complex class release then, since we presumably need a template class write-up to introduce them to players and how they work.
Eh,
So the only difference is that if you are turning into a vampire from like your base, so if you're something else and then you want to become a vampire, then you just apply the race template on top of your current character, basically. I would imagine anyway.
yeah, I think the only thing we really need to do would be like multi-class rule set specifically for them for multi-classing.
Yeah, I didn't have a stat requirement on here for it.
Yeah, that's the only thing I would really say. Yeah. But something I'll be working on getting on World Anvil. Smith can help me since they're part of World Anvil team.
The
But
main thing
yeah.
is we need it to be clear if it has differing rules at all that aren't just standard features.
Yeah, I mean those will be clear in the class write-up, so I'm not too worried about it.
Sounds good.
All right. Copy pasta.
Just don't want us to have more keyword debt.
Yeah. Citizen influence gain adjustments on downtime drop instead of expending. I imagine this is referring to for every 5 days they spend, they get influence, and you're suggesting it's just when downtime is dropped. I mean, if you want to do it when it's dropped, then that's fine with me. I mean, the system already itself auto spends days, or at least it's supposed to. As everyone is assumed to be spending their days that they did not spend on recuperate. Because recuperate's one that we really don't need to track very much, because it's literally just like, did you sleep? Yeah, you slept. I mean, if there's, got some sanity issues, then we kind of need to look into it, but... Yeah. But I think this is fine to just implement. It's good to go. One of the things I would say for the vampire class, though, which should be definitely noted, if they are an undying race that is not Dampier, they're gonna be a sad banana. Because, I mean, unless they're like Revenant and somehow revert back to a living creature, uh, there's no real way for them to become a vampire. Because they're already undead. And Warforged cannot be vampires either. They are robots. Yeah, no constructs or undying besides Dampier can become a vampire. It is a race locked class, unfortunately. Yeah, what clarification do you need? If it's a subtype, do not consider it the main type. That's the big thing. So if you see something that's like all undead are like immune to mind affecting effects, which is a thing from Pathfinder, not from 5e. If you're undying, that does not apply to you. You are undying, you are not undead. There is a major difference. It just basically means that you have themes of that particular main type, but you are not that type. So for Fae, you are not a full Fae, you are a humanoid with reminiscent characteristics of Fae. Yeah, apparently. I didn't. I figured subtypes was clear enough, but that's just me coming from Pathfinder, apparently. So it's, yeah, no. For 5e, I can definitely see the confusion. So, yeah, need to add a blurb about that. Yeah, also, to be fair, for the Undying races, I totally thought they were listed as humanoid Undying, not undead. Um, so, my previous post about them, yeah, no, I need to clarify that. Yeah.
I mean, everything is kind of humanoid, so
Yeah. So they are indeed immune to a charm person being a full undead. However, if we have an undying race that is humanoid undying, then yeah.
Okay, so 2 more topics. The first is kinda one that needs a fair amount of discussion, but essentially it related to shapeshifters, changelings in particular, and how that related to the guild hall channels. Whether they just take the form they were when entering, since it's a projection and the shapeshift is a physical transformation, or if they can continue shapeshifting while projected and it reflects, and so on.
So I did respond to you in the Elderia chat for this. Just to clarify for everyone here, um, shapeshifting previously was a supernatural ability. Um, I had some confusion, made me think that this meant that it was affected by anti-magic fields. I looked it up my own rules. It is not affected by anti-magic fields, so they can just shapeshift freely. But the changes I made last night were in thought that they couldn't, which is why I made it an extraordinary ability, basically meaning that it was entirely mundane. Um, so yeah, no, they can 100% shapeshift. It is entirely physical. There's nothing illusory, um, non-physical about it. Their skin is literally changing and morphing.
Yup. This topic was actually being discussed in here now separately from the Elderia stuff, specifically regarding the guild hall and how shape-shifting applies to appearance in the guild hall.
Yeah.
Whether they take on the form when first appearing and if it updates while they're projected.
Yeah, so if they're a different form and they go on into the guild hall, they will be that different form. If they change form while in the guild hall, it will be changed form in the guild hall. That's all Gouda. The Yonti are also serpentine bodies. They are the full like Yonti abomination in Syrik. If you want the like Yonti purebloods, you're looking at the Nagashi race, by the way. The J instead of a T, but yeah, basically that. All right. Quets are also serpentine bodies, like Yonti. Yeah, that is true. You can indeed shapeshift
Last
in the
one
guild
is
hall.
just a follow-up on level 5 Civ subclass stuff. As far as I'm aware, that's good for release, right? We'll have it be the main part of next patch then.
I have not really heard too much in terms of balance team of things that need to be changed, so yeah, we should be good. All right. Anything else on the docket? Things to note down.
Alright, I think that's all for today's general meeting then.
Cool.
Thank you everyone for attending.
Indeed. Appreciate all of your faces, all of you guys helping out, all the good work, all that stuff. I'm going to drop the recording here. Blah, blah, blah.